Trouble ahead. Spectres are attacking the fort.
Seek no ground! Hold fire! That fellow's not dead! Heard I said hold your fire!
This isn't working.
Did we miss a few? It's about to shoot.
Three Highland kids for you.
Hold there! None in, none out. Not living nor dead.
Name's Red McCraith. I'm obviously a banisher. Open the door there. I've business within.
Your business is, if you'll excuse my articulating the evident, not my business. I have my orders. You can't come in.
I hear you, friend. What's your name?
Name's Andrew White. And you seem a pleasant fellow. I like a Scot, me, but standing here, I'm on duty. And when I'm on duty, I'm not your friend. Listen, mate, folk in here have problems enough, and I can't be disobeying orders. Either priests or Pennington would have my guts, and I fancy neither.
Bennington knows me. He'll know I can help.
I'm sure he does. But put one dead man down, and 3 come back next day. Round here, sweet victory fast turns bitter. Bottom line is, the captain is indisposed, and I'll not add your complications to the pile. Now, you want to lend a hand? Mrs. Priest and her party are overdue. You can't miss the outpost, it looks out across the valley. If you could find her, and make sure she doesn't die, you'd surely gain her favor. And favor, as they say, opens doors.
Get in a fight and find your boss and dig her out of whatever hole she's in. All right. I can do that.
They have Spectre troubles. Let's first clear the nearby nest to relieve the fort, then deal with the missing.
Heard any good scuttle lately?
The dead are coming, and you want to gossip. I admire your sang-froid, and that's the Lord's truth, but now, sir, is not the time.
How holds the fort?
How holds the fort? Precariously, that's how. Our strength dwindles, and we'll soon run out of powder. Priest took Williams and that other fella, and off they went, scavenging for supplies. They've not yet returned.
It's dangerous out there. The scavenger may easily become the carrion.
Right. I'll likely be back.
Find our friends, Banisher. Or put them to rest.
I'll try. As soon as I take care of the Spectre's nest, I'll go looking for the outpost. This is pointless.
Death knocks at their gates. No wonder they won't open.
They don't have a choice. Another attack may overrun them.
The nest might be near. There's a trail to follow in the snow. More coming.
Come and get your breakfast, boys.
Don't just stand there. Move!
Die, you never-ending spectres. The fort will run out of powder.
These pests don't spring from nowhere.
Stuck.
Looks like you're walking.
Looks like. They've got backup.
That's it. That's the place. Fill in the hole. Bury them all.
Should buy the fort a little time.
Let's hope it's not too late for the famous Mrs. Priest. I wonder how many there are in the fort.
Fewer by the day, I'll wager. Still, better to be inside than out. Is it just me, or...?
Great!
is awash with spectres.
Did the foraging party really come this way?
That would explain why they haven't returned.
Picking up something spectral nearby. Is it just me, or...?
I felt it too.
Help us, please. We have a survivor. Come.
I suppose we should follow.
Aye, he said survivor. Let's hurry.
This one's not been dead long.
Let's hope he stays that way. Looks like they were taken by surprise.
If the map is correct, the treasure must be hidden nearby. Can you find a way around the locked door?
Could this be what's drawn on the map? Highland kiss for you.
Think you could take on a ghost?
boat is shot!
Behind you!
Watch out! Spectre possession.
You bastard!
I'm fine. Stop fussing. A timely arrival. You'll be Haskell's Banishers. Thank you. Thank you both.
You can't see me.
Clear as day, just as I can see. This is my husband. I am Helen Priest.
Antea Duarte. This is my partner, Red McGrath.
It is rare that the living can see the lingering dead.
All I know is one day I woke after 7 long years of grief, and my Sebastian was back. It was as if my prayers had at last been answered. That was enough for me.
In times of danger, I am duty-bound to protect the woman I love. You understand?
7 years. Why come back now?
It did not feel like 7 years. Suddenly, I felt her pain calling to me.
Divine intervention or otherwise, all that matters is that my dear Sebastian is back. Now, when I need him most.
We found the rest of your men outside. They're gone. I'm sorry.
We were overrun. I sent Matthews and Williams with the supplies to race for the hoist.
This was a risky expedition. But Helen had no choice. If the survivors were to rely on Pennington alone, the fort would have already fallen.
You're well capable of fighting the living, 'tis clear. It was reckless to think you could take on the dead.
We have lost many of our comrades. We measured the risk. It was not reckless.
Pennington did this while monsters relentless besieged the fort. But make no mistake, these men's deaths are on the captain's conscience. If he has one.
How so?
7 years ago, a plague came to New Eden. Pennington quarantined the sick in the mines, walled them up. They were dark times. Hard times. None knew what the morrow would bring. We all lost much. Too much. As second in command, Sebastian volunteered to stay. Walled in with the others, he held out the longest. He died a hero. And now the Forsaken are rising. They demand revenge.
Who would blame them? I watched them die. Soldiers and miners, sick and hungry, begging for help they knew would never come.
Captain Pennington has much blood on his hands.
I'm sorry. You've been through a lot.
We have. We are, and will persist till we prevail.
We should get back to the fort. We will escort you.
A banisher marched with my father's infantry. Good for morale, he said.
Soldiers usually carry their ghosts with them. War is good for our business.
I take it that's how you met. I know a soldier when I see him fight.
I never worked for the army, but something like that.
We'll come back for you, my friend.
Our sympathies.
This for 2 miserable powder boxes. How low has Pennington brought us?
If you didn't like him, why did you follow him?
I followed his reputation, but he's no longer the same man.
What would you do in his place?
I'm doing it. He sits behind his walls waiting for them to fall, and I'm out here fighting to live. We're fighting for our lives. The captain is in the way.
These internal conflicts are a risk for the stability of the fort.
A necessary risk for the survival of all. But I agree. This must end. You may leave the crates. I'll send someone back for them.
Yeah, the path should be quiet. We cleared the area of the Spectre's nest.
Well, that's a relief. Follow me. White! Open the gates!
Priest! What are you lot waiting for? Open the gates!
Go talk to Pennington. Make him understand, if you can.
Where can I find him?
He hides in his office. You'll find him there.
Where are the others? Williams and the other chap?
Matthews. We were ambushed. They fell.
May God have mercy on their souls.
There's ammo in the elevator. And Sherry and ammo to bring it back.
We need to find the key to open this. A store. Ferdinando's? Closed. Are we in the right... Anyone home? No one.
Papers in Miller's name. We're in the right place.
Keep looking. He's organised.
Disorganized traders lose money.
Parte reads English extensively.
Well, nobody's perfect.
He's making protective amulets.
He's making useless trinkets.
And he works hard to keep her away.
What is he afraid of? What don't we know? Let's search the store. Surprisingly high quality wares.
Can't be many. He left in New Eden. He's doing surprisingly well for himself.
Where did he get the inventory?
Rebecca's will. She was rich. She left him the lot.
That's where he got the inventory.
No. The list matches his sales record.
Touch my money and I'll drop you. What are you doing here? Thieving, no doubt.
I'm no thief, Mr. Miller. I'm the Banisher. I brought Helen Priest back to the fort.
A banisher? Thieves lie. How do you know my name?
'Tis my business to know. Red McCraith.
If you are a banisher of ghosts, I have business for you. I'll pay.
Aye. I know about Rebecca. It was she who sent me to find you. She worries for you. Says she loves you.
The English have a word for that. Hogshite.
If not for love, why did she bequeath you her fortune?
Whichever. It matters not. You're a banisher. It is your job to get rid of her. Can you not just do your work?
Easy, Mr. Miller. Now, I'll need to examine Rebecca's belongings.
I sold them. All of them.
You did? To who?
I don't know. People. I wrote it down. In the register. Read it, if you wish.
2 recent sales to the blacksmith and to Ingersoll's store.
A storekeeper hears much. What do you hear, Mr. Miller?
I'm a busy man. If you've a question to ask, then ask it.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He has no problem with me. I have no problem with him. He respected Rebecca's wishes. He gave me what was mine. My freedom. Her estate. He saw me as a man and signed the papers to say so. And when them who saw different complained, he laid down the law.
What think you of Helen Priest?
I don't think of Helen Priest. I stay out of her way. I hope she'll stay out of mine.
How are things in the fort, by your estimation?
Look around you. Things are desperate. Have you heard the sound of their bodies crashing against the wood? I am a man of courage. I have endured much. But this, it undoes me. I don't know what you people have done to this country, but there's little hope and no way out.
You've put quite the effort into protecting your home, haven't you?
You poked about my house without my say-so.
I know my business.
So out of generosity, here's the truth. None of it works. Not the wreath, not the amulet, none of it works. Pretty though.
His brooch is working.
It works. She hasn't come back. I can sleep now. I hear her calling, whispering my name. I wait to find her at my bedside. Our eyes meet. She stares. She won't leave me alone. She's an Akishi, a demon. Banish her. I'll pay you.
I need a job. I accept. Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
You know where to find me. If you're buying, I'm selling.
He'd sold it all. Everything she'd owned. And fast.
Why the hurry?
If we track her things down, perhaps they'll tell us.
A note?
Let's see.
Ferdinando was a slave. She was his owner.
She kept that quiet, as if it were of no consequence. We know where to go. The barrack room.
Greetings. Welcome to Ingersoll's General Store. I'm Bathsheba Ingersoll, the owner. What can I get you? A comb, perhaps?
A comb. Very funny. Red McCraith, and pleased to meet you.
Oh, please get the comb.
Tell me about your store. Tell me about you.
The original Ingersoll's in Boston was grand and fine, but it burned in the North Square fire of '91. We moved to New Eden with Nathaniel. But before Natty could return home, my husband died. Then came the curse. And now here we are. Welcome to Ingersoll's of Fort Jericho.
You never wanted to do anything else.
My husband was prosperous and affluent. I was young and clever. We made an excellent match. He taught me everything I know. The store is my business. My legacy. My story. It is who I am. I don't like running a store. I love it.
The shopkeeper must hear everything that goes on. Tell me something interesting. Just between us.
You assume me to be a gossip monger?
What do you wish to know?
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He lets me trade. I like the man. He says Ingersoll's store is good for the fort. I very much agree.
What can you tell me about Helen Priest?
I like her, though she's impetuous. Terse, even. She fancies herself a leader when she should know her place, and that place is below the captain. Thinking about it, no, I don't think I do like her.
More generally, how fares Fort Jericho?
Well, it's cold. Folk are hungry more often than not. I've little to tell you won't hear from someone else. But Ingersoll's is open, so all is well with me.
Ferdinando Miller sold you a few things recently, right? May I have a look?
You may, yes. Though I doubt they'd be much use to you. Unless you've got a knack for art. Mr. Miller mostly sold me paintings. You can't miss them, they're the only ones I have.
I must take my leave.
Thank you for your visit. Do come again.
quill. Bet that's what we're looking for.
An echo from the past.
I only recognize my name in the list.
Distant family, but I can't disinherit them.
I would never ask you that. To have met you is already more than I ever expected. If I was to lose you, God forbids, I'd cherish all that reminds me of you.
If you were to lose me, all that I own would now be yours.
He claimed not to love her. Why lie?
Maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he pretended to love her.
Let's see what he has to say about it.
Banisher?
I found papers. Official papers. They tell quite the story.
That's all in the past. For the good of my future. But you may as well hear it from me. As she lay dying, Rebecca Hardgrave gave me my freedom. Before that, I was her slave.
How very romantic.
If it weren't for the captain, the good people of New Eden would have let me die too.
Rebecca was in love with you. The feeling was not mutual. True?
I was her pet. A dog nuzzling its master, hoping she might loosen its leash. She loved me, she said. I allowed her to think I loved her back. I sat up and begged and let her pet me. I was a very good boy.
You gulled her, then took advantage.
To a slave, a crumb of freedom tastes like a loaf. You'd have done no different, and I'd do the same again. Enough chitter-chatter. Perhaps you should get back to work. What am I paying you for?
You're paying for this. This is the work. But I get the feeling it's the result that interests you, not the method. You want me to finish the job, then the story must be told. The ghost must manifest.
I do not like this idea. This idea can shit itself 6 times by sundown.
Come on, break the brooch, and let's get it over with.
No choice remains. Let it be done. And I'll be done with it!
You're here at last!
Step no closer!
I don't understand. Are you not glad to see me?
Now, Banisher! End this!
Not now. You need to hear the truth, both of you. That reminds me. Rebecca, you omitted to tell us that Ferdinando was your slave. That you owned him.
I loved him.
I was a slave! I was not free to leave. What kind of love is that?
What are you saying? We loved each other.
Love? No. I told my master what she wanted to hear. I gulled her with a lie. I thought you a fool. But no, you believed me because you wanted to. Yet you didn't believe me, did you? Not entirely. That's why you never freed me.
I loved you, and you loved me. It was but a piece of paper. A piece of paper and a guarantee. I needed a guarantee.
You don't know what love is. You know only fear. You feared being undesired, being unnoticed, being alone.
True love requires you to let go.
Time to give this love story an ending.
Rebecca Hardgrave, your love for Fadi Miller is sincere but unwanted. You're hurting him. Let him go.
Is it wrong to wish to spend your life with the man you love?
You did spend your life with him. Now your life is over.
He was mine. I wanted to keep him. Was I wrong?
You don't own him. You can't own him.
Let go. Find peace.
Peace? She gets peace? After all she did?
I get peace, but you get your freedom. I was wrong. I'm sorry, Fadi. For everything.
You have been here.
She deserves no peace. She put me through hell. You don't care, Banisher. Just one more mad master in a madder world. What do you want?
You'll forgive me for this, but being a merchant here in New Eden seems a difficult calling.
I can't decide if you keep asking me that because you're judging me, or because you're judging New Eden. I suggest you judge New Eden. I have goods. I have money. Land too, though it's worthless now. I work hard. Why wouldn't I trade? The captain has no problem with it, and neither should you.
Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
Don't hurry back.
Captain Pennington.
No time, no way out, no hope, no way in. No time at all.
Captain Pennington, sir.
Mr. McWraith, you live.
There's work to be done.
Work? You had work. A mission. To bring one last glimmer of hope. To gladden our hearts before the pit takes us all.
You secretive bastards haven't helped.
The job is done. There's no more hope and little enough time. All that remains is the pit. Welcome to the last stand, McWraith. Wraith. Welcome to the end.
I wouldn't surrender just yet, Captain. I found Helen Priest. We brought supplies.
A waste of effort on both accounts.
Hardly. We saved a life. Resupplied, you may save more.
For the sake of what? For the sake of days, a week perhaps? You've saved no one. You've prolonged the terror. The dead will come. Our throats will feel their bony fingers soon enough. The end is inevitable.
It is if you will not act. You're the officer, take command. Surely you can't intend to do nothing.
You sound like Priest. She has changed. Her return to Fort Jericho has made her impulsive, irrational, quarrelsome. I believe she did not fully grieve her husband's loss. Returning to the scene has, it seems, reopened the wound. It festers. She'll join the lieutenant soon enough. When our defences crumble at the last, the pit shall take us all.
Fair to say your tactical retreat from New Eden town has not served you.
The town was doomed to fall to the curse. We disagreed on everything. There was nothing left to do but leave. We did not know there'd be no escape. No Smith gathered the bold and the governor let the afeared flock to him. We never agreed on anything in the first place.
The new Smiths are holed up in the woods, planning soon to leave for Boston.
They may leave for Boston, but the curse will follow. The curse will follow until their backs are against the wall.
As the commanding officer, you must know all the local lumps and bumps.
The lumps and bumps can smooth themselves. I have other priorities.
Why did you come to New Eden, Captain? Why here?
Far from the many wars we fight, you mean? I'd shot enough Frenchmen and more than enough Indians.
Did no one come with you?
Keep to your business, son, not mine.
It's just, there's a portrait hanging on the wall. A family.
I had a wife and daughter once. I'll not entertain you with their story.
Tell me more about yourself and your career.
I did my duty and had the fortune to return alive. That's all. We who are intimate with war tell no tales.
I thought that too. I was wrong. Silence allowed my ghosts to prosper. 'Tis good to tell our stories.
If ever I do tell, I'll not be telling you, son.
How do things stand, Captain, as you see them?
Little has changed. The dead flood from the mines. We shoot them down and gain respite. Soon, the onslaught begins anew. The clock of our extinction ticks on towards the hour. We may no more defeat the dead than we may vanquish the ocean waves.
You must at least try.
We lack much, yet we are still alive. How is that, do you think? We hold to the last. We resist, till retribution rises from the pit and drags us all to hell.
Well, that's something worth waiting for.
I fail to see the appeal of this slow agony.
How unfortunate. Because thanks to you, and the time you bought us, the agony will be all the slower.
Permission to take my leave, Captain.
And if I refuse it?
Are you trying to recruit me, Captain? Do you really think I'd take the King's shilling?
If I were to offer enough shillings, I'm sure of it. I need no new lieutenants. But if you wish, you may stay. This key unlocks the unused watchtower. You'll bill it while you're here.
On the one hand, a captain beaten by the world. On the other, his rival, haunted and mutinous.
In a fort besieged by vengeful spectres.
Behind all the shit, there's something else. Something darker. Could be worse. Could be underground.
The new Smiths, Thickskin and Kate, have always been as fire and ice, but with Red and Antea gone, little remained to keep the sisters together. A chasm of grief and rage yawned between them, their bridges burned, and the camp stared into the abyss.
Banishers, may I have a word?
Helen, something wrong?
Apologies for disturbing your rest. I'm afraid it can't wait. What did you think of the captain?
I saw a different man from the captain we first met. His brains are cracked. I saw a liability.
On that, we agree. But his sullens are an act behind which he may hide his errors.
An act? I don't believe so. He's haunted, perhaps literally.
It matters not. What matters is the price the people here pay for his mistakes. You are banishers. The dead, you'll have noticed, hammer at the gates. I would like you to go into the mines and find out what enrages them so. I would like you to do what the captain will not.
And while we deal with the hordes of angry spectres, what shall you be doing?
When the mines are purged, I'll oust Pennington.
How goes it with Sebastian?
I'm not sure. I had never let go of my grief. I was bereft, empty, His absence gave me substance. I clung to it. Useless, really. My husband died in the dark, with nothing but my handkerchief to soothe his last moments. And now, he's back. If each worthwhile thing in life is to be lived, and then when it is gone, to be grieved, then what now? I have to believe our love is enough.
Love is hard work. We are bound to grieve all the different versions of ourselves. And theirs.
I try to hold him and cannot. It taunts me. It was almost easier when he was gone.
All things are fleeting. Gaze upon the ghost you love and you can't deny it, bitter though the thought may be.
Yes, 'tis a blessing and a curse. Yet against all reason, we persist. Let us make the most of time remaining.
Is it your belief that Pennington's quarantine lies at the heart of the problem here? That this is why the dead rage so?
What else? He walled them in. Miners, nurses, soldiers, the healthy or the sick. He buried them all, and then he lied about it. I'll brook his callous cowardice no more.
Much goes on around here, and you seem to know about all of it.
I try, and I could do something about it if the captain was out of the way.
What brought you to New Eden?
I came with Sebastian, willingly, mind you. My father was a soldier. I knew there'd be travel. Sebastian courted me for 3 years. I swore when we married I'd follow him to the end of the earth. And here we are.
How's morale about the fort?
The fort has known better days. Not many, mind. It's always been miserable. Folk deserve better. They fought so hard and lost so much. The captain must show them a future.
Where do we go?
There is a second tunnel into the mines. The entryway was walled shut during the quarantine. Getting there will not be easy, but the barricade should fall without too much difficulty. After that, who knows?
Underground again. Wonderful.
If it soothes you, I too am taking a significant risk. The captain has a penchant for locking people up and leaving them to rot. Some years ago in New Eden town, the captain locked up an innocent woman. A fate I wish to avoid.
We should go.
Then it's agreed. When you're ready, you'll investigate the mines. Take the hoist to the waterfall, near the outpost you first found me. From there, it is not far to the tunnel. Keep your wits and all your luck about you.